When you consider the fact that Odell Beckham Jr. is on your squad, Jarvis Landry is on your squad, you look at Nick Chubb running the football the way that he did for the most part prior to last night. Freddie Kitchens, oh, by the way, I don't think he's caught the bad game. I've seen some innovation on his part, some creativity, trying to get Odell Beckham Jr. involved along with others. This is about Baker Mayfield. Do I think it's going to stay this way? No, because I don't believe that Baker Mayfield is a guy that's some scrub. But when we talk about the word overrated, understand what that means. We're looking at you. We're attaching expectations to your name. And we walked into this season expecting a hell of a lot more from you than we have gotten.
Everything you just talked about, Stephen A., is about coaching. Freddie Kitchens may be in over his head. That may be the case. But what you're talking about is really coaching. Baker Mayfield, coming out of college, where he was one of the best we've ever seen, was rated by all the advanced analytics, all that stuff, as the #1 college quarterback, like the #1 guy. And, in fact, he was drafted there. So that's not overrating him. I mean, you could say whatever you want about Lincoln Riley, but he's producing top guys, and they're talented. He enters the pros. Was he good early? Well, you could see he had talent, but the numbers weren't great. Why? Because of coaching. In other words, when he had a great coach in college, he looked great. Why?
We have that later.
Stevens A-list. And then when he had a coach that wasn't good in Hugh Jackson, he didn't look good. Although even then you could see he had talent. He didn't have terrible numbers, and he was always throwing into tight windows. And then who became interim coach, Stephen A., last year for the Browns?
Greg Williams.
Can he coach?
Yes, he can.
Right. So he had a good coach again, and Freddie Kitchens, whatever, like, if he's not in charge of the whole team, we're just talking about putting him in an offensive position to win. He looked great. How good did he look? 2 guys in the NFL over the last 7 games had more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield. They were Patrick Mahomes and Ben Roethlisberger. That's it. No one else threw more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield. And he had the highest yards per attempt of any quarterback over that time, and they were 5-2. So like any quarterback, if you put him in a situation to succeed, he's going to look really good. That has not been the case so far this year.
Max Kellerman, dare I ask this question, Maximilian? I need you to answer this, sir. If Baker Mayfield had gone upstairs to Mr. Dorsey and said, you know what, I know I got this good relationship with Freddie Kitchens, but I would prefer that you leave Greg Williams as the coach and Freddie Kitchens as the offensive coordinator, because I think he's doing a pretty damn good job. Would Dorsey have made Kitchens the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
I don't know the answer to that question, but it
might
not have been the worst idea in the world.
Now you don't know. Now the king of nuance, I just gave you a nuanced kind of situation, or at least something that's projecting what could have happened considering the circumstances. And suddenly you're going to feign ignorance and act like you don't know.
Look,
you know good and damn well that Dorsey would have sat up there and said, okay, you cool with Kitchens staying in this role because you were looking good? We could keep Greg Williams here? All right, we could do that. No, you have Baker Mayfield because let's say this about Baker Mayfield. He is a loquacious individual. He is somebody that is not going to have a problem getting a job in television once his career is over, which might be sooner than later if he keeps looking this way. He's definitely going to have a job in television because he makes headlines with his mouth. And I don't mind. You love it. I love it so long as he backs it up. But the reality is he talks a lot, but he ain't backing it up.
What Richard Sherman said, as is often the case, is right on the money. He has to respect the game. One of the things that makes him interesting is the same thing that made Johnny Manziel interesting, which is, hey, can you actually get away with being a franchise quarterback in the NFL with this attitude, with this, no, I'm going to go against the grain attitude? Hold on a second. Manziel couldn't. He didn't have the skills. Baker, it looks early still to me that he does. But Richard Sherman is right. First of all, Bosa was motivated
let me
the whole
tell you
thing.
what Richard Sherman's right about, because I got the quote here. I wanted to read the quote to everybody, because they haven't seen it. Before you continue, here's the quote from Richard Sherman, so everybody in America will know. What's amazing and annoying was him not shaking hands at the beginning of the game. That's some college expletive. It's ridiculous. We're all trying to get psyched up, but shaking hands with your opponent, that's NFL etiquette. And when you pull Bush League stuff, that's disrespectful to the game. And believe me, that's going to get us fired up. He hasn't earned anything in this league. How many games has he won? He's acting like he was the MVP last year. If Patrick Mahomes did that, it would be one thing. But he would never do that because he has too much respect for the game. And when you see a guy who does it, you humble him every chance you get because eventually he will have respect for the league and he'll be out of it. Does that sound like a contemporary in the NFL, Max, that's talking about coaching? Or does that sound like somebody who's talking about a player who thinks he's more than what he has been?
No, as I said, he's right. Either he will learn to respect the game, or you're right, too. He won't be in it long. It's not like things are set in stone. This is already written ahead of time. Baker Mayfield can write his own script. But the question as to whether he's been overrated as one of the best quarterbacks you'll ever see in college and highly successful as a rookie after 5 games in his second year with a rookie head coach who appears to be over his head, that's not right. Sherman is right. He has a certain lack of respect and needs some humility. You cannot be Muhammad Ali in the NFL. It's not possible. You're responsible, especially as a franchise quarterback, for too many other guys. And when Richard Sherman, Stanford-educated, all-pro, Super Bowl winner, says that, and by the way, never afraid to speak his mind, he knows what he's talking about. And either Baker Mayfield will get that or he won't. I'm betting he will get it. He's too talented and has been too good so far, especially as a rookie, not to.
All right. I keep telling you, you keep talking that stuff about Baker Mayfield. You ain't holding him accountable. I'm not saying the brother's a scrub. I'm not saying he can't play. I'm saying because of what we projected, he has not lived up to it at all with the talent that they have on his roster, and that makes him look overrated at this moment in time, which adds credence to what our very own Rex Ryan said. He might have said it a bit harsher than I'm saying it right now. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's true. But in the end, that doesn't mean that Rex Ryan was wrong. Right now, Rex Ryan is looking more right than Baker Mayfield. Period. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.